video you're watching comes courtesy of Telehell, the podcast where TV meets torture. Listen at telehell.libsyn.com or wherever you stream podcasts.
I don't know what it's like. Well, what's like? Alcatraz!
Actor Kevin Bacon adds another complex role to his lengthening list of strong character parts as he and Christian Slater bring a true-life tale of injustice to the screen in the drama Murder in the First.
We'll fight these men so they will never be able to do this to anyone again.
The film chronicles the friendship formed in 1941 between an Alcatraz convict, played by Bacon, and lawyer James Stamphill, who defends him for killing a guard. But the crime turns out to be far from simple.
Getting sentenced for stealing $500, that's extenuating.
It was $5, not $500.
Convict Henry Young, imprisoned for stealing just $5, had been beaten and kept in total isolation for 3 years. And his victim was the man he believed responsible for his punishing ordeal.
In the beginning of the film, he doesn't really relate to the rest of the world, hardly at all. It's almost like he's deaf or something like that.
You hear me, don't you? Look, if you don't want to answer my questions, maybe we can start with something else. What do you want, Mr. Young? There has to be something. It can't just be to sit there, because if you do, they're just going to stick you in the gas chamber.
Eventually, through his relationship with Christian and the experience of the trial, sort of starts to climb out of that a little bit.
I'm scared of I'm scared to go back there. I'm scared. I'm scared. Scared.
I think Henry helps James to really discover a lot about himself and who he is. And in doing that, I think James helps Henry to stand up and not be afraid of authority.
Action!
To help him understand Henry Young's isolation, director Mark Rocco made 15 trips to the remains of the real Alcatraz, which was also used for shooting. He also interviewed many former Alcatraz inmates and guards.
I would see men that hadn't been in prison for 40 years. They had stayed 10 years in Alcatraz, but you could see it in their face. Their whole life had been shaped and ruined by Alcatraz.
Shooting on Alcatraz was difficult at times. That added a lot of tension and drama that I think added a lot to the movie.
But key to the film's impact was the central performance of its star.
I was a weapon, but I ain't no killer.
Henry is not a bad guy. He's not an evil person. I think he's fundamentally a very good, decent human being. And I think that he sees someone who he could have been.
We're the same age, sort of. And if I'd have lived in your house and they'd have switched us when we was babies, I could have been just like you.
Director Rocco says he was astonished by Bacon's physical transformation.
I don't think he really knew what it ultimately was going to be for him emotionally, mentally, physically. If he did, he probably would have run screaming at the time.
But just as convict Henry Young found a saving grace through friendship, Kevin Bacon says his demanding role was endurable
Because I really genuinely liked the people that were surrounding me, and I felt less vulnerable because they're all, really good people and good friends.
We're friends, huh?
There are some things worth fighting for.
February is Black History Month on HBO. Celebrate all month long with some of the finest programs HBO has to offer. Every Monday night, you'll find a different lineup of movies, documentaries, a big concert, and special features you won't want to miss. Monday at 6:30, kids learn the best way to fight racism isn't to hate back. Whitewash. At 7, a portrait of inspiration. Arthur Ashe, citizen of the world. And at 8, Denzel Washington is Malcolm X. Tune in and celebrate Black History Month, Monday nights in February on your HBO.
HBO's got a snoop with a nose for crime.
Do not go in there.
Woo! Ace Ventura.
I'd like to ask you a few questions.
He's the best pet detective there is.
I just can't do it, Captain.
Actually, he's the only one there is.
Yes, yes, yes!
Ace Ventura, Pet Detective.
You really love animals, don't you?
If it gets cold enough,
500 years.
Hackman's pieces and then drank their blood.
To pay us a visit.
She lives beyond the grace of God.
Do not fear me.
She is the devil's concubine!
Who are we to stop him now? Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the amazing Lorenzo.
Your girlfriend ever tell you how cute you are when you're angry?
He sees all and knows all. And now, with the help of his lovely assistant, he'll use his magic wand to dazzle, astound, and overpower you.
Well, you cost me a great deal of money.
He doesn't come cheap, but he buries the competition. The Swordsman, tuck sold separately.
You can't see them. You can't hear them. But you know they're out there, waiting.
There's a major coup planned for Election Day in Panama.
Fighting a war no army can win.
We have less than 1 week to prevent that.
But a single bullet can.
One shot, one kill.
Tom Berenger, Billy Zane, Sniper.
The following movie is rated R.